I'm not going to be wearing this the whole video because honestly, I don't want to. This video, I'm going to be talking about books that Swifties recommended to me. As you know, for my book videos, I like to coordinate my shirt as much as I can. So I am wearing my Eras merch with Miss Swift's face on my chest like an emblem of appreciation. She gives me the superpowers I need to get through the day. And this hat is a cowboy hat that I did not wear to the concert. But I'm gonna take this off now. Maybe you'll take me seriously after. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to Care's Book Corner. It's been a while since we've been here. I recently, in the past couple months, went to the Taylor Swift Eras tour. Round of applause. Round of applause. Thank you. I know that was a feat to get tickets. I had the best day. I'm just gonna weave Taylor Swift song titles and lyrics into my video. See how many of them you can catch. The shirt that I was wearing, a QR code on the back so people can scan and recommend books to me, because if nothing else, I trust Swifties with book recommendations, and they did not disappoint. So here we go. I'm going to talk about these books in the order that they were recommended to me. So the first book is Book Lovers by Emily Henry. And this is a book I was putting off reading for the longest time. When I saw that this was the first book recommended to me by Swifties, that was really the moment I knew that I had to read it. The Swifties started off well for me. This was a good read. I rated it 4.5 stars. This was probably my favorite Emily Henry book that I've read so far. It was nice. It was a good book. It was exactly what I needed to get me out of the reading slump that I was in. I'm now in a different reading slump, so that's besides the point. This book was about two people who work in the publishing industry. Their love story, it was enemies to lovers. It was just so cute, and the banter was so good. Like, it was so good. You could really feel the sparks fly off of the page. Like, I feel like every character in this book was fleshed out. The sibling dynamic was good because I could feel like their love for each other, the relationship and banter between the main love interests. I could feel the friendship outside of their relationship, and I feel like that is what makes a romance story good for someone who loves the friends to lovers trope. Everything was wrapped up at the end with like a neat little bow, and it just felt concluded. For someone who likes a little more cynicism, I sometimes wish there was a little less perfection at the end. Not everything happened in a happy ending. There was some pain, and I don't know what that says about me. If you listen to Taylor Swift, you kind of have to like pain. This was a 4.5 star read for me, and it wasn't a 5 for no particular reason. It just felt like I liked the book a lot, but it didn't hit like a 5 would. It hit different, if you will. Like, there was something inquantifiable missing, and I don't know what that is. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I can't articulate it. Also, for all of these books, I am going to equate the book with a Taylor Swift song, so maybe that'll be fun for you. I would say Book Lovers, in essence, kind of feels like Afterglow off of the Lover album. Some lyrics that remind me of the book are, "Why'd I have to break what I love so much?" In the book, with no spoilers, I just feel like that's a lot of the essence that was in the book. Like, it was very tumultuous. I feel like the character had one foot out the door the whole time. She also had a chip on her shoulder based off of like some of the perceptions that she views herself as. I feel like the bridge in this song really encapsulates what the book's about. Like, tell me that you're still mine. Tell me that we'll be fine, even when I lose my mind. That was a kind of reassurance that she needed from the main love interest in the book. Okay, so that was Book Lovers. Would highly recommend this book. The next book that I read that was recommended to me by Swifties was Tweet Cute. Didn't really call to me to read it. Don't blame me, but it really didn't. This book was cute. Don't get me wrong. That's all I could really say about it. Like, so this book, again, is another romance book. It's really young adult, which, as what I think now is an old adult, I felt like I was reading books about children, because these were high school kids talking about love, talking about college, talking about all of that. And I'm like, I'm old. I graduated college. Could not relate to that one anymore. So some of the tropes in this book: enemies to lovers, secret identities. This book was about two high school kids who get into a Twitter war of sorts. That's really it. I feel like most of the characters in this book were underdeveloped, including the two main characters. Honestly, I would say that this book, it was missing something. It was missing depth. I like trauma in my books and pain. Not necessarily like trauma, but like trauma, you know? I couldn't really feel the characters' angst. As a teenager, We know you're angsty. Overall, this book was a 3.25 for me. And the song that it reminds me of is You Belong With Me off of the Fearless Taylor's Version album. I love the song You Belong With Me. Like, that is one of my favorite Taylor Swift songs. I would not say the amount I like that song and the amount I like this book correlate, but I would say the youthful innocence of both the song and the book are matched. Like, You Belong With Me is very pop, upbeat. The book is also like very light, very fluffy, very much a innocent book. To flip to a book that is not so innocent, the next book that was recommended was Twisted Love. This book, when I said I wanted pain, I didn't mean it this way. If Tweet Cute is over here with innocence and sweet and wholesomeness, Twisted Love is over here with dark, tumultuous relationships. That is how dynamic us Swifties are. We can go from rainbows and unicorns on one end to absolute pain in the other by a switch of a song, baby. Tell me why, when I really said I want pain in a book, the next book that I read was just that. It was pain not only in the book, but it was pain for me kind of reading it because it was just like so spicy. And I don't like spice. I order 0 stars when I go to get Thai food. I like my life plain vanilla as I can. Some of the tropes in this book is brother's best friend, enemies-ish to lovers, grumpy sunshine, I hate everyone except for you. And this book was about 2 people. One has a lot of pain and trauma in their life, and the other also has pain and trauma in their life. And it's their love story of trauma bonding. Here's the thing, right? This book, I think, would have been okay if the spice in it wasn't so not my preference. Like, why couldn't they just have normal Spice and not, like, stick her wet underwear in her mouth and call her a slut Spice? I think there's a middle ground there somewhere. Maybe, as some would say, some holy ground that they need to be finding. Some of the smut scenes in this book, I was like, you're joking? You're actually joking me. I don't want to read this. To wrap it all up at the end of the book, this man starts singing out of nowhere. That might have been a spoiler, sorry. But, like, this man out of literally nowhere starts singing, and I'm like, I can't actually with this book. I cannot take this book seriously anymore. This man started singing. This book just wasn't my taste. If I had to equate this book to a Taylor Swift song, it would be Don't Blame Me off of her Reputation album. We're probably gonna get Reputation's TV relatively soon, maybe in the next year. Some of the reasons why I think that is because some of the lyrics go, don't blame me, love him me crazy. If it doesn't, you ain't doing it right. Lord save me, my drug is my baby, and I will be using for the rest of my life. And Lord, does the main character in this book need saving? Cause, ooh, girl, both of them, not even one, both. They both need to repent for their sins. And I'm not even religious. The love really did make them crazy. I just feel like the dark essence of this book is not only encapsulated by, like, Reputation as an album, but, like, the song specifically. It's like, don't blame me. I'm like this because I'm in love. In the song, Taylor goes, for you, I would cross a line. I would waste my time. I would lose my mind. They say she's gone too far this time. And I would say all of those things about the book. They did cross a line. They did waste my time. They did lose their mind. And they did go too far at times. I'm not saying the song was written about them, but it might have been. High level, if you zoom out, it was a cute-ish book. You zoom in and you read everything, was not a cute book. Lots of pain, lots of trauma, very dark. When they said twisted love, they really did mean it. And that's on me for not judging a book by its cover. And then the next book Swifties recommended to me was Chain Letter. Now this book was a thriller. I could tell by the cover art I was in for a ride. Because I don't like horror, I don't like being scared. I'm very much a weenie and a wimp when it comes to horror. That is just proven by the fact that after finishing this book, I read both books in the series unknowingly. Like, I thought that I was just reading one of them, but I read both. But after reading the second book and finishing it, I was like, I'm a little scared. I don't want to. I stayed up texting my cousin for like an hour because I was like, I can't go to sleep right now. And then, after reading and researching about this book, I realized that this book was a young adult / children's book. Like, this author is a children's horror story writer. I was like, I'm actually a wimp. I belong in the Weenie Hut Jr. because I am a Weenie Hut Jr. Taylor Swift said never grow up. And I guess in terms of horror books, I never did. This book was a 2.5 for me. It was not great. In terms of horror, if I were a normal person, I don't think this book would be thrilling, scary at all. Considering I did stay up an hour after reading this and finishing this book, I wouldn't say it was that bad. Like, I just think it's like the paranormal aspect to it. Out of all things, when did it get paranormal? Like, this book was so much in reality, and all of a sudden it was like, yes, Anna, everything's paranormal. And I'm like, no, just keep it based in reality. Why change it like that? So this book is about a group of friends, and also this is not spoilers because it tells you within the first like couple of chapters, a group of friends who one night got into this accident, and then like they start getting chain letters where they have to do something that they don't want to do and then pass it along to someone else in the group, because if they don't, their secret is going to be exposed. This book, first of all, had too many characters. My brain is so itty bitty, and there were too many characters and too many names, and most of them were irrelevant. So I'm like, if you could cut 3 characters and the book would basically be the same, why not do so? Most characters didn't have like a lot of depth behind it, where I was just like, okay, who are these characters again? Oh, no, that's the sporty one, and that's the rude one. Okay, got it, for sure. And that was all I knew them as. And if I know them as like one thing, like maybe they need more attributes in their life. And as much as I said throughout this video that I want trauma and I want pain, I'm like, why did so many people have to die in this book? I get it, but it's not necessary. Like, I don't think anyone had to die. I think the book would have been just fine if all of these characters lived, but here we are. Their deaths didn't really add much to the book. It was just like, oh, now the characters I don't care about are dead. Okay, onward. Also, as an aside, I was like, oh, this book is kind of written old-timey, and I'm not the biggest fan of that. Then I realized it was written in the 1980s, so I was like, okay, this book gets a pass for that because it was timey, and I just didn't realize it. But overall, I could have lived my whole life relatively unscathed without reading this book, and it would have been just fine. Like, this book was a solid 2.5 stars for me. And if I had to equate this book into a song, it would be No Body, No Crime featuring Haim off of Taylor's Evermore album. For very obvious reasons, No Body, No Crime. If you read the book, you'll get it. That's that. And because it would be wrong of me to take recommendations from Swifties and not give one back, if I had to recommend any Swifties a book, it would be Love in Other Words. Are any of us surprised? Easily not. If you've watched probably any of my other book videos, you will know that I love this book. This book is good. This book is great, and I love it. I would say this book is the one for me. This book is a state of grace. This book is timeless. This book will long live in my brain. This book needs no introduction on this channel. This book is just comfort for me. This book provides me so much comfort. I would recommend it completely and utterly to anyone. The banter, amazing, absolutely amazing. Friends to lovers, childhood friends to lovers, and I love a childhood friends to lovers trope. Because of that, the song that this book reminds me of is Mary's song, parentheses, oh my, and parentheses, off of the debut album, which, again, hopefully we will get a Taylor's version soon. Mary's song, open parentheses, oh my, and parentheses, is the epitome of a childhood friends to lovers song, and equivalent is this book. It's just so cute, it's so innocent, and it's just like a warm breath, like a warm little hug, you know? Anyway, so that's my recommendation. Let me know down below if you hate the book, you think that it's also trash, but it's fine. I am going to wrap it up here. Thank you to those who left me recommendations, even though I doubt any of them would be seeing this video. Well, one of them will. Yeah, I read books that Swifties recommended to me, and Lord help me, help them, help us, because we got something wrong up in our noggins. But that's okay, because we're young, free, confused, and lonely all at the same time, and the books that we recommended kind of do fit that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already and you want to. And I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye. It's been a while since you've seen me, and I apologize for that. We're not going to go into the reasons here if you want to know. There's no actual excuse. Not the time nor the place. Today we are talking about Taylor Swift, Miss Taylor Allison Swift. I really forget how to do this. Solid.